Baaana Massik, Chapter 2, Whispers in the Dark. Alina's communicator pierced the quiet hum of her pod like a siren from the void.
Validator Voss, priority alert. Disturbance in the degen quarter. Report immediately. Code red, civil unrest.
Her heart skipped as she glanced at Alex, still asleep under the dim glow of the night lamp. She kissed his forehead, whispering a promise to return soon, and suited up. The degen quarter was the underbelly of Fink's Nexus, a labyrinth of decaying modules where the corporation's grip felt loosest, home to those scraping by on minimal rations and whispered grievances. Rushing through the transport tubes, Alina's mind raced. The degen quarter had always simmered with tension, overcrowded, underfed, a breeding ground for dissent. As her pod hissed to a stop, the scene unfolded in chaos. Smoke billowing from makeshift barricades, crowds chanting against the regime, validators in riot gear clashing with civilians wielding scavenged tools. At the center, a father's body lay crumpled, his chest scorched by plasma fire. He'd resisted his son's recruitment. The boy, no older than Alex, huddled nearby, eyes wide with terror. Commander Reyes, his visor cracked from a thrown debris, barked orders amid the fray.
Voss, secure the child, Citizen ID 4782-Theta. Get him to recruitment processing. We'll handle these degenerates.
The validator team swelled, reinforcements pouring in like shadows. Blasters hummed, and the air crackled with suppression rounds. Alina nodded, her throat tight, and approached the boy. His small hands clutched at the air, reaching for his mother who screamed from the crowd. Scooping the child into her arms, Alina felt his tremors against her suit. This was her first direct involvement in a recruitment extraction. Usually she dealt with logs and patrols, not the raw agony of separation.
It's okay.
She murmured, though her voice wavered.
You're going to a better place.
Lies, she knew. The boy kicked and wailed.
Mama! Papa!
As they entered the secure transport tube, a final glance back. His mother lunged forward, only to be felled by a validator's shot. The woman's body slumped, lifeless, as the crowd surged in fury. The tube whisked them away, the boy's sobs echoing in the confined space. Alina's shock mounted, images of the executions flashing like glitches in her implant. How had it come to this? Enforcing order or crushing souls? She held him tighter, whispering nonsense comforts about stars and safety, but her own pulse thundered. By the time they reached the recruitment station, a sterile hive of intake pods and scanning arrays, something fractured inside her. The boy's tear-streaked face mirrored Alex's innocence, and the weight of the corporation's cruelty crashed down. At the station's threshold, Alina hesitated. Recruits streamed in under guard, their futures scripted into corporate servitude.
Wait here,
she told an attendant, feigning protocol. Instead, she veered toward a side corridor, bundling the boy into a maintenance alcove.
Listen to me.
She whispered urgently.
You have to run. I'll get you to the edge.
His eyes, confused but trusting, nodded. Making excuses about a security scan, she rerouted them to the city's perimeter, where the dome met the wild wastelands. The transport tube hissed as it neared the city's edge, where the dome's sterile glow met the irradiated wasteland beyond. Alina clutched the boy, Citizen ID 4782-Theta, his small frame trembling against her.
Stay quiet,
she whispered, her voice barely audible over the tube's hum. The degen quarter's chaos replayed in her mind. His father's lifeless body, his mother's desperate cry cut short by plasma fire. She'd enforced the corporation's will for years, but this was different. This was a child, like Alex, torn from everything he knew. At the perimeter gate, Alina flashed her validator badge, claiming a routine contraband check. The guard, distracted by the riot alerts, waved her through. She led the boy to a rusted maintenance hatch, the wilderness just beyond.
Run!
She urged, kneeling to his level.
Head for the hills. Don't look back.
His eyes, wide with fear, met hers. He nodded, then darted into the dust-choked dark. Alina's heart pounded as she sealed the hatch, praying he'd find refuge. Her communicator buzzed, shrill and insistent.
Validator Voss, report status of citizen ID 4782-Theta.
She steadied her voice, lying smoothly.
The child escaped during a weapons scan. I'm pursuing.
The line crackled with suspicion but accepted her report. For now. Alina returned to her rounds, her boots heavy on the cracked pavement of the degen quarter. The riot had been quelled, the streets littered with debris and the acrid scent of plasma burns. Passing the site of the melee, Alina froze. Sprayed on a crumbling wall was a silhouette she recognized. Baaana Massik, the mythic giant from Alex's forbidden book. An arrow pointed down a narrow alley. Her pulse quickened. She glanced around, no drones, no validators, and followed. The alley was a dead end, but more graffiti caught her eye. "Till all are one," scrawled beside a rusted trash collector. Her fingers brushed the metal, finding a small lever. She pulled it. A hidden door groaned open, revealing a narrow tunnel descending into darkness. Alina hesitated, then stepped inside, her suit's sensors buzzing faintly. The tunnel was damp, lined with ancient pipes, and led to a small, dimly lit room. There, an old man sat in a hooded cloak, his face obscured. He tilted his head, as if sensing her.
"Have you seen my cat?"
he asked, his voice raspy but warm. Alina shook her head, confused.
No, sir.
He chuckled softly.
"It's hard to find those we love in the dark, isn't it?
His words carried a weight that made her skin prickle.
I sense you're searching too, for something dear, lost in this darkness."
Alina stiffened. How could he know?
Sometimes, you must step into the dark to find what's lost, to bring it back to the light.
She dismissed it as the ramblings of a recluse, but his next words stopped her cold.
I wish you well, Alina Voss. May your search in the darkness return your beloved lost there, back to you.
How do you know my name?
She demanded, stepping closer. The old man's voice turned haunting.
Till all are one.
Then he was gone, flickering out like a hologram. Alina blinked, her rational mind insisting it was a trick, a projection, but her gut churned with unease. She retraced her steps, emerging into the neon-lit night, the phrase, "Till all are one," echoing like a prophecy. Back in her pod, Alex greeted her with a sleepy grin.
Mom, read Baaana Massik,
he begged, clutching the tattered book, an unauthorized relic from a kinder past. Years ago, an old man had given it to him after Alex helped pick up his dropped belongings on a crowded street. Alina had thought little of it then, but now suspicion stirred. She opened the book, her voice soft as she began.
In the dawn of the second cycle, 2 civilizations rose.
A passage struck her like a bolt. Baaana, destined to search for Leone in the darkness for eternity, bound by the Alere's motto, "Till all are one." Her breath caught. The graffiti, the old man's words. It couldn't be coincidence. As Alex drifted to sleep, Alina read on, her eyes tracing the tale of the Parnaxians, giants who dedicated their lives to defending innocence. The boy she'd saved flashed in her mind, his desperate run into the wilderness, a fragile hope against the corporation's machine. The story lingered as she fell asleep, Baaana's eternal vigil mirroring her own growing defiance. The Parnaxian's oath to protect the innocent felt like a call, a spark igniting in her chest. She dreamed of tunnels and cloaked figures, of a child running free under alien stars. The old man's voice whispered, "Till all are one," and she woke with a start, her resolve hardening. Morning brought a summons to headquarters, a sterile fortress of glass and steel. Captain Navarro, a grizzled enforcer with eyes like cold slate, awaited her.
"Validator Voss,"
He said, his voice clipped.
"we have a problem."
A holographic display flickered to life, showing grainy footage. Alina at the perimeter, ushering the boy through the hatch. Her stomach dropped.
"You aided a fugitive.
Navarro continued.
You're to be detained. 45 years, minimum. And your son Alex, his recruitment will be expedited. Tomorrow."
Alina's world tilted. Alex, taken at 9, fed to the corporation's maw. Her defiance had cost her everything, yet the spark from the tunnel burned brighter. The graffiti, the old man, Baaana's tale, they pointed to something greater, a resistance hidden in the dark. As Navarro signaled for guards, Alina stood, frozen, the weight of her choice and the shadow of her son's future pressing down. The fight was far from over.